I finally learned how to pronounce IZ*ONE. I don't know all of the details. I do know that there was some rigging done. Why do you pronounce La Vie en Rose like that? If you're mad about it at this point, you should have boycotted this shit like 6 months ago. Hi, welcome. So today's video is super exciting because I'm going to be offering my honest thoughts on IZ*ONE's comeback with Fiesta. But what's going to be different about this video is that I've actually taken the time to check out their B-side tracks. And I'm just assuming they're B-side tracks. I mean, I don't think they have like 5 title tracks. Don't at me, I don't know the logistics of their comeback. And to be quite honest with you, I don't understand how some fans just know everything. They know every detail about everything that their faves are doing, you know, and I try to keep up. I really do. Like, I even made a Twitter account. But every time I go on there for information, I just find compilations of, you know, twerking. Bad bitches only. And somehow I ended up part of this Pure Protection Squad. But I digress. All that to say that I did check out some of their B-side tracks. I don't typically check out B-side tracks because I have a very short attention span, but I don't know. IZ*ONE kind of... I like them, but I'm really scared to get into them because I know they will inevitably disband, which I suppose is a comfort in and of itself because you know what to expect and it's not going to hit you in the face. But regardless, it still brings up these feelings of abandonment. But let's just get into the video. Actually, I'm going to stop you right there to remind you to subscribe to this channel. We are getting so painfully close to 100K. It would mean so much to me if you could subscribe and click that bell to be notified. And if you'd like to help the algorithm, because YouTube is trying to destroy 22, that's a whole other story. Comment on this video to save 22. We're gonna start off by talking about the music video, which was very lovely for sure. IZ*ONE, I feel like their songs definitely evoke certain colors. And maybe it's because of the titles of their songs. I find that La Vie en Rose and Violetta have very softer palettes, while in contrast we have Fiesta, which actually you see the colors are a lot more saturated. I also definitely feel that much like Violetta and La Vie en Rose, this music video brings you to another universe. And though we did see hints of eccentricity in their other music videos, I feel like this one really goes the extra mile by adding these really interesting effects. It's kind of trippy at times. Moving on to the fashion. We can definitely applaud IZ*ONE for not doing denim outfits, but they did go really hard with the plaid and they did mix a lot of plaid together. And we'll get into it, don't worry. I feel as though there was a pirate-inspired theme, particularly with the plaid and especially with the sand. And we even have this scene where people are holding these red circles, and the outfits that they're wearing just kind of give off these mermaid vibes as well. But what really upsets me even more than the plaid is the lack of homage to parrots. I mean, seriously, how do you do a pirate theme and not bring parrots into this? That's the real question. Yes, that is definitely shade at 80s. So for the music video, I think it's quirky and eccentric, but then when I saw the live performance with those parrot outfits, did I say parrot? Pirate. With those pirate outfits, oh my god, I'm really, really sorry. They look like not my cup of tea. It is so bad. Moving on. And of course, we do have some chic styles sprinkled throughout the music video. And of course, these 70s inspired outfits, or at least I think they're 70s inspired outfits. They don't really go that hard in terms of the 70s feel to them, but they do have a slight hint. And then of course, I can definitely appreciate their matchy-matchy black and white outfits, but for some reason, they really remind me of the outfits in Vampire. Though they aren't really that similar, they just don't stand out in like the necessary way that I feel like Fiesta really deserved. So now we're going to talk about the dance. Admittedly, I don't stan any groups with more than 8 members. But that being said, every time I do see a group with a lot of members, I tend to be blown away with the way they use their numbers in the choreography. And this is definitely the case with IZ*ONE. I've noticed that they really use their numbers to their advantage and they just create these beautiful little stories within their choreography, within, you know, groups of members. Let's talk about the song and then the B-side tracks as well. It did definitely sound very familiar, and not that I'm entirely well versed in IZ*ONE's discography, but it did feel like something I've heard from them before. You know, at some parts I almost expected them to start singing Violetta. So in that sense, yes, it is quite familiar, but at the same time, it wasn't really something that I fell head over heels for. I wasn't entirely in love with this song. However, in contrast, I did listen to Ay 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 Ay, which for whatever reason I decided to click on it, and I head over heels fell in love with this song. I only download songs that really touch my heart, and this is definitely a song as well. Ay Ay Ay. How many yas are there? This is definitely a song that I will be downloading on Spotify. That's how much I loved it. I loved the dance. I loved the beat. And again, there's this sense of familiarity, but it was quite different for me. And I personally feel like this should have been the title track. This is 100% title track worthiness because it is a little bit familiar, but it is still quite different, and it does, at least for me, touch on my heartstring. And I don't know about you guys, but does it not remind you of the most softest, most perfect combination of both Rumor and La Vie en Rose? Just a thought to ponder. Here's a little warning. There's going to be some K-pop boomer talk throughout the rest of the songs. I'm really sorry I couldn't get Mark Lee Spears to come and join us because she's the queen boomer. So then I checked out So Curious, and I was brought straight back to 2009. When I say second gen vibes, I mean holy crap, I haven't seen a cute concept done like this in a really long time. I definitely appreciated the black and yellow outfits. They gave me Bumblebee vibes. It was so vibrant, right? It was so vibrant. I feel like maybe in fourth gen times, this definitely wouldn't maybe succeed as well as a title track, but definitely in second gen, I mean, it has everything you need. It has the cuteness, it has the catchy chorus, it has the cute dance for the chorus. I just feel like this would really have succeeded really well in second gen. And as for cute concepts, we don't see them so much anymore. Definitely Twice did a lot of cute concepts, but I feel like they didn't do them in this way. Twice did a more third gen version of cute concepts, but I feel like this is really bringing it back to second gen. But anyways, I digress. After So Curious, I watched Sunflower, which is also a cute concept, but it's done a little bit differently. I feel like it does have more of these third gen vibes to it. Does that make sense? Leave down in the comments below if you agree. I'm so curious to know. So it's definitely really soft, like a lullaby. And my favorite part is where they sing, "Oh my goodness." I don't know why I'm a sucker for songs that go, "Oh mo," "Oh my goodness," "Oh my." It just makes me feel a certain type of way. By the way, I finally learned how to pronounce IZ*ONE. IZ*ONE? IZ*ONE. IZ*ONE who? We don't know her. Now the last song I checked out is Spaceship. And fuck. Second gen vibes, I know, so predictable and so annoying, but I mean, like, that's literally my brand, and if you're mad about it at this point, it's a little bit late. You should have boycotted this shit like 6 months ago. I'm more than willing to admit that maybe I don't know IZ*ONE's discography very, very well. Maybe they do this type of concept all the time, I don't know, but to me, it was just shocking to see this, because in my opinion, La Vie en Rose, Violetta were very different. They did do this cute soft concept, but it didn't go this hard, if that makes sense. It didn't go this retro, if that makes sense. They said Twinkle Twinkle, which I could name like 12 second gen songs that use that. I feel like we just don't hear those words as much anymore, because Panjak Panjak is like Twinkle Twinkle, right? And it's super cute. And cute concepts, in my opinion, were done a lot more in second gen, not as much anymore. I feel so old, even though I was only born in 2012. I don't know, can you name any recent songs that use like Panjak Panjak? I mean, I could admittedly be out of touch. It would not be the first time. A lot of people want me to talk about, the IZ*ONE and X1 controversy with Mnet. And here's a little bit of a synopsis of my thoughts on it. I'll be really honest, I don't know all of the details. I do know that there was some rigging done. I mean, this wasn't something that shocked me because I don't really stand those groups, but also I'm very heavily critical. Surprise. I'm really critical about TV shows. You probably wouldn't like to watch a TV show with me because I point out things like, oh, they use those colors for this reason, or they did this for this reason, or you can totally see that this is scripted, especially for reality TV shows. So I'm very much of the opinion that you should never, ever, ever trust anything on TV. So for me, it wasn't really like a surprise. I didn't there was no gasp. I didn't really find this very surprising. But I know for a lot of fans, this can be really disturbing because you think something's real and then you find out that it's not real. Even with Momoland, there's allegations that it wasn't real to begin with. But yeah, of course, it is really heartbreaking that X1 had to disband because of this. And I don't know why it didn't really affect IZ*ONE to that extent. I'm definitely not a source of information for this scandal. I just wanted to give you my opinion that you should always take reality TV with a grain of salt. Never, ever, ever think that it is 100% real, because very likely things are strategically planned. Things are strategically planted to get a certain reaction out of people. So yeah, that is basically all I had to say for this comeback. Leave down in the comments below what you thought of it. Overall, I think it's a really nice comeback, but I have to say I really fell in love with Ay 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 Ya. I think I had the right amount. Doesn't even matter. Again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment. It definitely helps the algorithm. Also, if you like this video, even if you leave it a dislike, helps the algorithm. So if you're here to leave a hate comment, which honestly, toucans and cockatoos are literally the least toxic fandoms. I'm just saying. I don't want to start any rumors. But it's kind of true. Stan22, if you guys are confused, 22 is a K-pop YouTuber group that I created with K-pop Shake and Markley Spears, and our fandom name is Toucans, and then my fandom name is Cockatoos. So leave down in the comments below, are you a toucan or a cockatoo, or are you both? Or are you a little bit on the fence about standing because you've been hurt in the past by K-pop groups and you don't want to go through that again? Relatable! Bye!